Emelina lets out an agonizing moan. Wasted. All of my work, all of my preparation for nothing. Emelina, Iona, Lich and Heart, in the name of the Inquisition, you are hereby removed from your post and expelled from the Holy Ordo. Heinrich's eyes are fixed on Emelina, but she does not look at him. Then the interrogator turns his gaze on you. The fate of its fallen member is a matter for the Ordo. Heretical archives, artifacts obtained in the excavation, and other assets in Lich and Heart's possession, I hereby declare the property of the Holy Inquisition. However, it is for the rogue trader to decide what becomes of Fightin' 4 and its people. What is your verdict? How would you advise? This world has been compromised. Any attempt to assess the degree of corruption will necessarily be based on weak judgment, vulnerable to doubt and sentiment. I get rid of the planet and its population. What will happen? The archives will be destroyed to prevent the situation from ever reoccurring. Emelina is my responsibility. I'll take the survivors. So be it, Lord Captain. Now it's for Emelina. You are hereby stripped of your special status as an agent of the Golden Throne and all attendant rights and privileges. I am authorized to use all interrogation measures as stipulated in the standard framework for information extraction to ascertain the fate of Acolyte Tanakia Calbergaria. Will that be necessary? No, Interrogator Van Calix. The sage's voice is scarcely louder than a whisper. I have no intention of concealing the information from you. I am almost certain that Tanakia Calbergaria was eliminated on the orders of Xavier Calcazar after being deemed a volatile element. His face is a mask of disbelief and anger. You're lying. Listen in silence. I saw one of Calcazar's documents when I went to receive my new orders. Only a fleeting glimpse, but with my memory like a picture recorder, it was long enough for its contents to be imprinted on my mind. I do not know the details, but the document itself was an interrogation transcript with a final annotation indicating the removal of the person from the retinue. We both know how someone leaves the Lord Inquisitor's retinue. Interrogator Van Calix. Tanakia is the Lord Inquisitor's top espionage specialist. However, Xavier chose to refrain from making a public show of strength. Calbergaria was invaluable. Why would he do this? She looks up at Heinrich, her eyes full of despair. I do not know, Interrogator Van Calix. Just as I do not know why the Lord Inquisitor sent me to this nondescript planet as soon as I voiced my concern about his methods. Just as I do not know if I should blame the warp for the lack of response to my calls for help, or if Calcazar prohibited the others from answering. The nature of her mission, of Xavier's true purpose here in the Expanse, was likely why he chose to bury the secret and Tanakia along with it. She breaks off. The operational data indicates that you are the retinue's primary torture specialist, Interrogator Van Calix. All this time, I thought you were the one who conducted Tanakia's interrogation, and one of the reasons why I destroyed my personal data block was to ensure that my own sentiments would not prevent me from thinking rationally when I encountered you or Calcazar's other servants. Heinrich. He says nothing for several seconds, staring into space. At last he begins to speak. Emelina, Iona, Lich and Heart. I know, Interrogator Van Calix. I know all the procedures used on compromised sages. Interrogation, unsealing of reminiscence blocks. Before we begin, she stands up, straightens her spine as much as she can, and looks into the interrogator's eyes with a weak smile. I thought Tanakia was your doing, but as your reaction has revealed the truth to me. Heinrich. It is Heinrich, yes. There is a subtle shift in Emelina's voice. She sounds older, wiser. You should know. I am sorry to have forgotten you. Heinrich stares at the stage and says nothing, and then looks down and mutters something too quietly for you to hear. He turns to you. Thank you for assistance in solving my problem. You're a pack of soul, if you're full of violence and death. But why? He looks at you, his eyes dark and lowering. Why don't you answer that question yourself? Because her knowledge is just like the archives you were planning to destroy. Coming into contact with is too dangerous. You did not want to subject her to your standard procedures at yours or anyone else's hands. You really think my actions are driven by such sentiment? He studies you intently. His face is difficult to read, but one of his eyes spasms briefly just before he turns away. We are finished here. The planet will be designated unfit for further use. The risks are simply too great. It will take a few hours to deal with the excavation site and what the diggers found there, but it will not delay us. When we return to the ship, find a minute to speak with me. So. Uh-huh. Yep. That's where we are, apparently. Ooh, that... I wasn't expecting that. So she had... So there's... Huh. So that's Heinrich's... So there's somebody that Heinrich knew?
Won't tolerate weakness.
Tenekia or something, and she's gone. But Heinrich didn't either know it or wasn't responsible for it. And then Emelina knows secrets and stuff like that, and then wiped her memory completely. So in that way Heinrich couldn't do anything to her or like interrogate her. And it was because of sentiment. We know that. Like he's not the hard ass, or at least my version of him, because of I think the dialogue choices and stuff. He's not the hard ass that he portrays himself all the time. And to be when it comes to things like this. So I truly think that he did that out of sentimentality and compassion, which is... Whew. And now we're learning that Calcazar isn't who we think he is, because he's got some devious things going on. And I, for one, am very excited to see what that man has up his sleeve. Also, Mars Eye is pushing every single one of Heinrich's buttons that do or do not exist. There are new buttons Heinrich didn't even know existed that Mars Eye managed to push today. And I find that funny. Just a little. I am kind of surprised, though, those fights. There was no, like... I assume this isn't the end of his Act 3 story, though, by any stretch. Because I'm guessing whatever we have to do with Calcazar ties into that. But I am kind of surprised by the fights themselves. Because they weren't too hard. But they were still good and, like, fun. So I enjoyed it immensely.
Lord Captain, I thank you for your assistance with my mission. Thanks to rogue trader von Valancius, the Inquisition has stopped the enemies of humanity. Even those hiding in its own ranks on this occasion. I will no longer be making any claim on your time or resources.
Oh wait, he killed her. So he did just outright kill her. I didn't see her go down or anything, so I was really confused by that. I know that, like, the DLC has more cutscenes. I kind of wish that had been more of a cutscene just to see it. So that's what he killed her. Okay. So then that way he wouldn't have to interrogate her or anything like that. That's so sad. Lay a hand on him. You did what you had to do. Don't punish yourself.
You grant me too much mercy.
Oh no. Oh no. This game makes it so hard to choose between the two. Everything Emelina said about Calcazar, should we be concerned?
It is dangerous information, but you are already too deeply involved. In the Inquisition, there are two main philosophies, Puritanism and Radicalism. The adherents of the former are conservatives who strive to follow the letter of inquisitorial doctrine in all matters. The radicals are more pragmatic. They believe that the end often justifies the means, and they use tools that a Puritan would condemn as heretical. Emelina used the powers of chaos to gain the upper hand against Xenos. I touched a cogitator built by cultists to learn its secrets. None of us is pure. Xavier. The craven-hearted say that the career of every Inquisitor ends in either death or heresy. The Lord Inquisitor has borne this burden longer than any of us. It would be naive to think that he had only ever used Puritan methods, and even more naive to suggest that such methods have in any way weakened his loyalty to the God Emperor. And that is all I will say on the subject.
What are you gonna do now?
I will remain part of your retinue. That will not change. I will continue to accompany you until I receive orders to the contrary from the Lord Inquisitor, if ever. Who knows? Perhaps one day my journey will end like Emelina's, but that day is not today.
Do you really think Tess would let that happen? Like, do you legitimately think that Tessera von Valancius are gonna let that happen? No, I think not. Okay.
What can I do for you?
No, there's nothing. Okay. Good. So, we're waiting on this still. We now have to go to the Crone world. Okay. Hidden in the eye of a warp storm. What we do for our friends. Let's see. I just want to make sure. We're gonna do warp jump. What a good story. I like it that he was like, you'd accuse me of such sentimentality, and it's like, yes. Yes, I would. I know who you are. You're not what you, like, what Calcazar has tried to make you and everything. He's more than that. And I like it that you kind of have that ability to show him. Okay. Now, off we go. Where is the Crone world by chance? Do we know? I feel like we've been there, right? Crone world? No. It says space combat. Oh, wait, it says I don't want space combat. I want Crone world. Krennic? No, that's, yeah. There should be this. I'm gonna hold on. I used to know where this was gonna take us. Okay, we need to go to, I can't even begin to pronounce this place. It is, I'm like looking at the map. Mark this is, okay, we gotta go here. That's where we're headed. Smaragdus something Warhammery. Warp breach. Crew will receive gear. I really don't want to fight it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I was lazy. There. I've been trying to get some of this stuff done for years. Legitimate years. I just want to get there. Kind of surprised nobody's wanted to see me, Heinrich. After everything we've done. In the bedroom and otherwise. What? Who said that? You don't... Oh my god, that star is pretty. Please tell me I'm not in the wrong place. Okay. So this, right? Oh. Yeah, repair. Is this it? Yeah. Yes. Wait, this is this. Okay. Yes. You know what? Yes. We can all keep her alive. It'll be fun having her back. Cassia used to be main squad. But Mars, I happened. Okay. Oh god, you got 6 ranks. Do you have flesh wound? Okay. Done. This is something. Okay. Up here, I guess. This is... Wait, what? Oh, there's all that tech down there.
If I could see the golden light of the Astronomicon as you see it, Cassia, I would probably go still forever, unable to take my eyes off the radiance of the Emperor for an instant.
Friend or foe? Halt, cursed child. We had to ally ourselves with Xenos once more to stop you. No matter, small price to pay for the liberation of High Sorcelio. What is happening? Be gone, renegades! We followed the Atlas call in your wake, child. Stand with us. High Sorcelio will not trade Tisiphane's legacy for the false ideals of blind fools. Wait, what is happening? Ah! I hope everybody enjoyed my voice acting there. Damn Xenos, this was not the bargain we struck. Throne smite you, the navigator, whose skin is so thin that it reveals muscle, bone, and innards underneath, clenches his augmented golden jaw in contempt. What is this? The rogue trader and traitors to the house have lured the child into a trap set by Xenos? I wish my eyes were deceiving me, but now I can see clearly the great Regent Aronto, we spared him, was right to send us after your vessel. A sturdily built woman armed with a pistol, and yet there are signs of exhaustion in her posture. Her face is hidden behind a gem-encrusted three-eyed mask, and her elaborate Navis nobilite vestments are stained with dried blood, other evidence of recent combat. I too wish to be enlightened about what is happening here. You will stop defiling the remains of the hallowed ground on our ancestors with your semblance of speech, monkey. I brought my own Xenos, okay? I did. Marzai? The Harlequin's bright clothes glimmer faintly in the dim light of the system's star. The sinister grin on his mask only adds to his menacing, aloof presence. The final act will soon unfold here, where you will pay the deeds of your ancestors. Stay put and wait for the puppeteers to pull at your strings. Why are there Xenos ruins where the Palace of the Atlas should be? Why is this place coated in an impenetrable black mist? I am suffocating. Cassia clutches her breastplate near where the Atlas is, her voice feeble and trembling. Three-eyed monkey who sees into shells. The taint of your ancestors has begun to consume your body and soul. Pathetic fools with an insatiable lust of power that is not yours. Ending your misery will be merciful. Taint? Do you mean the Atlas, Xenos traitor? Silence, traitor! Everybody's a traitor at this point. The Atlas is a sacred relic of House Orselio. It is what elevates us above the rest. How dare you? The Regent's envoy abruptly loses her breath with a groan, and she clutches her chest where her Atlas is implanted. I refuse to accept this. Impossible. What is the taint you speak of? Do you not see? The Harlequin's voice booms throughout the ruined temple. When you, monkey, discovered this crone world, you tainted it with your crude technology, despoiled it of its relics, ruined all there was to the last stone, but worst of all, you sullied the souls of our ancestors reposed in their sacred vessel, the spirit monolith. He points his thin finger at the remarkable crystal floating behind his back, and the Harlequins around you tighten their grips on their weapons. Like a sea of bottomless blue, Cassia looks around her with a stunned expression, her gaze shifting from one Xenos to another. I did not know that the living things could exude such saturated hues. I wish I could paint this ocean a different color. We'll examine it. This enormous translucent stone shares a strange resonance with this place. You can sense the energy emanating from it, mysterious, restless, coagulated. Ugh. It resembles a giant heart that has been plucked out of its owner's chest. Its crystal clarity is pierced by hundreds of dark veins that have taken root within like a terrible illness. What is this place? Your primitive language has no word to convey the true nature of this place, but I will venture to try. Some call it a world beneath the first star. Others know it as a crone world or an unblighted world. It was our ancestors' home before we became prey to she who thirsts. So how did the navigators taint the spirit? The experiments. Cassia covers her mouth in horror. This is where she conducted her experiments to Tisiphone. No, it's not possible. To consort with Xenos is to violate the word of the God Emperor. It is known to all that Tisiphone Orselio executed anyone who showed any interest in the enemies of humanity. Is that so? Then why is it that every piece of metal or fabric in this place bears our house coat of arms? Open your eyes. Quiet! The Harlequin's tone is mild, but it's not a request. I am unsurprised that the truth is hidden from your gaze, three-eyed monkey. Who see into shell? I realized in the moment I met the first of you, wretched, begging us to help you destroy your own kin. I sensed it within you. Our ancestors' call, their pleas, their endless torment. I knew what you found was a crone world, and I humbly waited for the day you would lead me to it. What experiments? I cannot say where this memory sprang from. Perhaps I saw a vision of Tisiphone in my dreams, and yet I have seen all this so clearly. There was such power locked within this stone, such opportunities. It would make our navigator's ability several times stronger. No, it would magnify them by a factor of dozens. But the price was too high. After mere hours of use, the stone would always burn the minds of its host. That is why Tisiphone broke the monolith into many shards, which were far easier for a human will to control. No, your ancestors went further than that. The Harlequin trembles with fury. They place the shard of the spirit monolith inside their bodies to empower their abilities. I never wished to learn harsh truths about my own house. Cassia buries her face in her hands and you feel waves of despair spreading from her lithe frame, which suddenly appears fragile as glass. Neither Theodora nor Tisiphone were infallible, but that doesn't mean we are powerless to rectify the errors of our ancestors. Oh, doesn't mean. You say that only because you wish to soothe me, she smiles faintly. The renegade navigator stares at Cassia in shock. You are more than just a tyrant's heir. You are a successor to a mad heretic, a betrayer of faith. You must be destroyed, you and the Atlas, once and for all. You think the solution is so easy, don't you, monkey? When you die, your souls become captives inside the spirit monolith. This process is deranging to our ancestors who have served as the monolith's guardians for aeons. It is equally agonizing to the souls of your dead. And the more monkey souls the monolith absorbs, the more volatile it becomes. The Eldari and the monkey have spent many a dance battling for supremacy within the monolith, and its integrity is waning. You sense it too. The only way to free our ancestors from the pain is to separate the monkey taint from the spirit monolith. My troop is here to perform just that. We will all play our parts today. And when the final act of this age-long tragedy begins, the monkey players will exit this world's stage. Sinister shadows dance on the Harlequin's mask as he draws an unknown device from his sleeve. The Atlas must certainly be destroyed, but surely the entire house cannot be expected to serve penance for Tisiphone's crimes. Is there no way whatsoever to separate the Navigator's souls from those of the Eldari without killing one or the other? The Xenos thinks for a moment. I do not believe there is. The three-eyed monkey have desecrated this place, and I will not put the spirit monolith at risk just to help them avoid a consequence of lamentable performance. The Atlas certainly must be destroyed, but surely the entire house cannot be expected to serve penance for her crimes. What? Perish the thought. The Starway Atlas is the foundation of our House Orselio's power. Whence do you suppose we draw the strength to fare the Sea of Souls? Is this not the greatest library of Navis Nobilite knowledge across the Koronus Expanse and the Calyx sector? Should the Atlas be destroyed, House Orselio will face oblivion. Nonsense. Tisiphone created the Atlas only a few centuries ago, whereas the history of House Orselio dates back to the last millennium. We have always been a house to be reckoned with, but when Tisiphone arrived in the Expanse, she set her sights on acquiring power that could let her family branch dominate the rest. And where has that left us? Our bodies are corrupted by Xeno heresy. God Emperor, forgive your children for committing a trespass so heinous. What do you say, Cassia? She gives you a grateful nod and turns to the Harlequin troop. I cannot change the past, it is true, nor can I change the fact that my house is forever tainted with disgrace born of Tisiphone Orselio's hubris. Yet, all of us here today have the power to change the future and halt the unending suffering that is drowning both your kin and mine. You? You suggest that the monkey and the Eldari change the future together? I must admit, my leading lady, I am confounded by your audacity. Go on. My Atlas. Cassia places a hand on her gilded breastplate. If you can free the phantoms of my house from the spirit monolith, guide them to enter my Atlas, their experience and wisdom will help steer House Orselio onto the path of truth and allow future generations to avoid the calamitous pitfall of their forebears. Kai Morag, my leading lady, the shards of the monolith are lodged inside the chest of every monkey bound to you by ties of blood. How exactly do you intend to return them? I shall use the Atlas to sever my subject's connection to the spirit monolith. Then I shall extract its shards from every navigator of House Orselio. This artifact is implanted at birth, but that does not mean that the ritual cannot be reversed. I witnessed its creation through Tisiphone's eyes in my vision. I lived it over and over again. And through the memories of Sethala clan, I can recreate the ritual that will return the souls to your kin, to you, and save my people's lives. Seldom do humans and Xenos get the chance to resolve their conflict without violence. I second Lady Cassia's proposal. The Harlequin remains as still as a garish statue for several minutes. Then the mellifluous voice behind the mask says, I'm willing to try. No! The Regent's envoy draws her pistol. I won't let you destroy the Atlas, even if it is the child's wish. Lady Orselio, you are too young, inexperienced. You simply cannot comprehend. Oh. You address the future novator of the House Orselio, one who has survived the massacre of Urak 5, one who has lived following an attempt on her life at the Palace of Dargonis, who has restored her house's stability in what scant time she has been free, while you, All of you have spent years destroying it from within. You address one who has passed through the tempest of the Sea of Souls to the true Atlas as a rogue trader's ally. Yet you still call me unworthy, don't you? Young, inexperienced, kneel before me and I shall forgive you for your insolence. Oh, we passed. House Arcelio was always loyal to Novator Tisiphone. Henceforth, it will be loyal to her successor, even if you see fit to lead us down a different path. Are you done with your performance, monkey? Then stand aside and do not interrupt. Whoa. What's gonna happen? I'm so excited. Did we do it? It's blue now. I can feel it again. The tranquility. The ancestral souls have found peace and corruption no longer endanger the monolith or this world. The Harlequin's narrow shoulders now look completely relaxed. Remember our agreement, Cassia or Celio. We will soon meet in this place again so that you can give us the shards. And now be gone from our world, monkey. Okay. It was nice meeting everyone. Guys, gonna loot the goods. I hope nobody minds. You know, free stuff and all that. Let's go before the Nicenoids try to murder us viciously. I did not expect that. So they were not Drakari. They were Eldari. So I wonder if I brought Urliette, if there would have been conversation, which is something to remember for the future. Like the next time we have to come here. That maybe we should talk to, or like bring her with us. Never hurts to have a second sniper. At all. I mean, depending on the situation. But snipers never hurt anybody. Except the people that they're sniping. But that's besides the point. Let's see what Cassia has to say after all this. Oh my goodness, are we actually getting stuff done? So weird to have no DLC left except for like the other part of the quest. But I don't know how important that is to the main story. So we'll see.